My pleasure this morning to introduce our virtual GRE, Star Austin. Star will be joining us, is joining us this morning virtually from, I forget where you are.
That's all right. Tucson, Arizona.
Tucson, Arizona. Okay. And I'll let you, Star, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, everyone. It's so good to be with you this morning. It's just wonderful to be back in worship with Unitarian Universalists. It does my heart good. My name is Star Austin, and I am glad to be joining you as your interim virtual director of religious education. I'm a credentialed religious educator with the UUA. I'm also a trained and certified Our Whole Lives sexuality educator with the UUA. I have been a UU for 20 years and have served as a religious educator in various congregations for 8 of those years. I'm a mom, a storyteller, a lay preacher who comes from a long line of women preachers in my family, and a poet. I actually think poetry is holy scripture and coffee is sacrament. So now you know the secret to summon me should you ever need to. Good poem and a cup of coffee. I look forward to helping our families here at Northwest stay connected to the congregation and being part of your ministry staff team during an interesting time as hopefully COVID is coming to an end, but time will tell. One thing is for sure, nothing is static in these times, and it is good to be in community together. And with that, I will say adieu. I look forward to getting to know you all.
Thank you, Alex. I appreciate your ability to play exactly the piece of music we needed to hear. I'm Diana Kohler. I'm one of the worship associates at Northwest. And as most of you know, we are currently in a ministerial transition after the retirement of our longtime minister. One of the good things about being in a virtual environment is we get to get our speakers from wherever they are and don't have to wait till they're in the Detroit area. And I am pleased this morning to be participating in the service with Michael Brown, who came to Northwest as a 23-year-old and is a little older than that now, and still considers Northwest to be his church home. And I hope that he will tell you something about his life's journey and why Northwest is so important to you later. I want to thank Michael for actually writing 2 sermons this week. There was the one he had completed by Tuesday and the one he knew he needed to start on Wednesday. So we're very grateful that he pivoted to give us a service that will help us in this incredible moment. And now Michael is going to provide us with some opening words.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much, Diana. It is wonderful to be with this community that I've considered myself a part of the better part of 18 years. I would like to acknowledge that this community is in a period of transition. Reverend Kimmy, who brought us together over the years, is gone. And I would just want to acknowledge that the feelings that come on top of everything that happened this week are very real. And I am with you in spirit in that. And I welcome Star, and I look forward to seeing what this amazing congregation does over the next few months in this transition. Our opening words this morning come from Reverend Molly Brewer. My beloved people, I cannot pretend, and so I will not tell you that everything is okay right now, that there is no reason to be angry, or that you must be optimistic or even at peace. I cannot pretend these things, and so I won't tell them to you. But now is the time to light our chalice. And I ask you that we remember the words of Rebecca Parker. There is a love. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all. By the light of our chalice, let us rest in love.
The first time Michael and I planned this service, we decided that we would invite some members of the congregation to share their thoughts about this moment in Northwest's history and in the larger world. And I recruited Susan Hansen to share her thoughts at the Friday listening session that we had. And as our plans for the breakout sessions evolved this weekend, we decided to shift additional speakers into the breakout rooms because I think so many people would want to speak that we would be here until 4 in the afternoon. So Michael provided us some questions to invite congregants to share. And I think Susan, it was really interesting to me to hear Susan's thoughts about this particular time. And Susan, if you will unmute yourself.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, thank you.
We can hear you, Susan.
Despite the events of the past week, I feel the sense of dread and vague dis-ease easing and new hope rising. My meditation practice is intensifying as I reach for a way to hold and examine the truths, even when difficult and ugly, as well as the truths that heal and bring us together. I feel my anger easing and transforming into a clearer sense of purpose. When I heard Kimmy was retiring from Northwest, my first thought was that I would leave also. My meditation practice and Zoom have combined to change my mind. Through Zoom breakout groups, I feel I have gotten to know more people. My quiet meditation times have helped me to see that the strength of Northwest lies in its people. We have been nurtured by and have nurtured Kimmy. I am grateful to have been brought to a congregation with the resolve to minister to all people. What is changing is the recognition of the opportunity I have been given, as well as the responsibility that lies in me to not waste that opportunity, and the quiet joy I feel at being a part of this congregation. My heart cries out in sorrow for the loss of so many lives, from the two pandemics of COVID-19 and racism and more. I cry out as I acknowledge the divide that is not new, but has now been exposed for all to see. I cry out for strength of purpose. How can I, an 83-year-old woman, best live, love, and serve to unify? And my heart cries out in hope and joy at the opportunity this new year and a new administration provides to begin again anew.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you, Alex. I can think of nothing more potent than the idea of breathing in peace and breathing out love this morning. Our opening words are from the book of Matthew in the Christian Bible. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. I invite everyone to just breathe in a little peace and breathe out a little love. What a week. I would like to start off by acknowledging the brittleness of everyone's feelings today. I know many of you very well, and I was a member of Northwest for a long time. And there are many of you I know through social media, and here in our virtual gathering, I feel it compelled to acknowledge that I don't know all of you. I left Northwest in 2010 to attend seminary. I currently serve as a chaplain at a hospice firm here in Maryland, and I'm a community activist. I acknowledge that many of us are feeling loss and sorrow over the retirement of Reverend Kimmy Regal and our Director of Religious Education, Jan Price. Two people who helped welcome me with open arms 18 years ago when I was afraid and in need of a spiritual home. I, like many of you, are sad that they are gone. We are together, and we move on. Connecting feels more important today than in otherwise normal times. On Wednesday, modern-day Nazis attempted a coup in the US Capitol. I initially wrote a whole analysis of it this morning, but I'm not CNN and you don't need me to be. Today is about trauma and about joy and about hope. Those of us of privilege who are white, male, without visible disabilities, who can pass as straight when we need to, have it pretty good, regardless of who wins in our rigged little fake democracy. We do not live in a system where we, the people, can overturn the will of the people in charge. The bankers and the war profiteers in our world can't allow that because they would lose what they have. And this week, we saw what the next level in our national spiral downward could look like when the needs of the people are ignored. Fascism fills the void. Donald Trump is not the disease. Racism is the disease. White nationalism is the disease. Classism is the disease. Hatred is the disease. And we are not immune to this disease. I have hated. Imperfectly loving, ever-seeking people are at a crossroads. Society's response to the terrorist attack at the Capitol transcends politics and it transcends beliefs. For hundreds of years, we of European descent have benefited from a global order that values our lives while demeaning and diminishing those of others. That's why saying something as plain and meaningful as Black Lives Matter angers so many. Speaking of the need to stop valuing brown and Black lives as less than white lives threatens. The proof is what happened on Wednesday. Frightened people whipped into a frenzy by someone who uses fascist tactics felt heard. Blessed are those of us who mourn, for we have come to this point. Blessed are we, the poor in spirit, for you and I are inheritors of the kingdom. For there is hope. We are bound in our Unitarian Universalist tradition to seek out hope. And through hope, we can find truth. In the last 4 years, I, as an atheist and a Christian humanist, have found great solace in the teachings of Jesus and his disciples. And I have found myself bound up in my own discomfort. I am today uncomfortable. Discomfort is what can motivate us to move. When I'm sitting up in a chair too long, I get up and give my body the change it needs. And when America sits too long watching this nightmare unfold, we get up, we rise up, and we say no more. We have to be honest with ourselves, my fellow liberal, leftist, socialist, communist, social democratic, woke siblings. Those of us who care about inclusion and progress and justice and love are on the defense right now. The cloud of evil that many of us saw from minute one with candidate Trump and then President Trump and now domestic terrorist leader Trump has grown and has infested every state, every city with some representation of itself. I am afraid. Many of you are too. Blessed are those of us who mourn, for we shall be comforted. We shall be comforted in seeing a Black man, the minister of the very same church that once employed Dr. Martin Luther King, elected to the United States Senate from a state in the Deep South, the capital of the original sin of racism and slavery and legalized segregation and brutality. On the same day of the attempted fascist coup, Reverend Dr. Raphael Warnock, the son of a state and nation that didn't and still does not value his Black life the same as a white life, shattered the racist history of this country and defied political gravity. Senator-elect Warnock is our living, breathing proof that joy can be found, that morning is here, that it is dark just before the light. The morning is here. God or the divine or the spirit, whatever term you use to encompass the whole of creation, often cures despair while simultaneously exposing evil. Evil exists, it always has, and the joy is that we now see it plain. We can see it, we can identify it. It's manifest in the White House, and it's about to be kicked out. There is hope. Hope is the radical act. Hope is the radical act. In the face of the ultimate expression of evil, we have to remember that hope and joy, those are the radical acts. Hope is the ultimate resistance. When we are squeezed by evil, when these invisible but plain to feel wrenchings of despair over us, we have to remember that we are not alone. This isn't the first time that evil has appeared. It's been with us. We are awake, and white nationalism and fascism have been exposed to the light. It can't continue to exist in plain sight for all to see. When our hearts shatter from loss and grief and fear, that's when the light shines in. We have to shine that light. We are that light. And as much as I want to say, God damn America, and as much as I want to give up, I hold true to my heart and my values and my commitment to the divine, to hold on to that hope. This congregation, this group of beautiful people can adapt to that calling. Reverend Kimmy, my mentor, who's the reason why I'm a minister today, and Jan Price, they are both gone. And in this history, this can be the time that we rise up. Northwest can be the beacon of the true universal love of the beloved community that people are crying out for. Instead of throwing up our hands and fearing and giving up, we lean in. When someone's voice isn't heard, we can lift them up to be heard instead of casting souls to the warm embrace of fascism and Trumpism and hatred. We can be the light. We can invite in the people who embrace the cult out of fear. We can show them that beloved community is right here for them. In the midst of this pandemic, this plague that is wrecking so many lives and livelihoods, we can lean in to that radical hope. We can climb that mountaintop that Martin Luther King talked about. We can climb it. We can climb it. We are closer than ever to expelling this disease of prejudice and hate. That's why last week happened. Fear is everywhere. Blessed are those who thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. We shall be filled with hope and joy in being and loving each other. The solution has always been there. And it feels terrifying. And it feels right now like it's the darkness. We have to push the door open. Great love, beloved community, commitment to our fellow human beings opens doors. Unconditional love and radical inclusivity can rip those doors off their hinges. We are the heroes we have been waiting for. And a few minutes ago, Susan said her anger, she feels her anger healing and turning into a sense of purpose. That's where the key is, my friends. We have the key in us. I pray this morning. I pray, O merciful creation, O Spirit of life, I pray for us. I pray for the dispossessed, for those souls who have fallen to the sin of Trumpism and fascism, for they are broken and they have fallen into this cult. Spirit of life, I call upon everyone gathered here today to recognize that their hearts are strong and can be open and find joy in the darkness. Oh Spirit, we need that light. We need that door to open. Let us join hands virtually. Let us love. Let us love ourselves. Let us love each other. Let us find beyond what is possible to love those we know who have fallen into this cult. Let us love each other and let us bring the light in. Let us find the way to be the light. Let us bask in light. Let us cling to the hope that is everywhere and swing from it to justice and peace, to reconciliation, to the very real work that is before each of us. I pray for you. I pray for me. I pray for our families. And I pray that we will all find and bask in the beloved community we all deserve. May it be so. Amen.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we'll walk hand in hand someday. We shall all be free. We shall all be free. We shall all be free someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall all be free someday. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall live in peace someday.
May we find peace and joy walking this path together. May love bind us when we are otherwise lost. And may we all celebrate a week from Wednesday.
Thank you, Alex,
you.
Ken, Josh, Ben, and especially Michael for participating today. And for all of you for being here and being in community.